Pragya means you get some kind of mental insight, you get a wisdom. So this is pragya, and if you have pragya, ultimately pragya will lead to enlightenment, and wisdom will emerge if your mind is pure and calm. You have to be calm, you have to be pure in your thinking, and these first two paths listed in the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path I discussed in my just before, in which the first two parts are from the Eightfold Path described below. I am giving you with the description, and it refers to discernment. The last three belong to the concentration, the middle three are related to the virtue. So the Eightfold Path constitutes of different aspects of pragya. Then comes the Four Noble Truths. What are the Four Noble Truths? I have been telling it from the very beginning that Buddha realized that the Four Noble Truths by seeing certain things. These were, as I said, dukkha, samudaya, and dukkha is life is suffering. Suffering is real. It is almost universal. Everybody suffers. Anybody who comes to this earth suffers. Then suffering has many causes. You cannot have only one cause for your suffering. The suffering can be caused because of loss, because of sickness, because of the pain, because of failure of getting something, and it is everywhere, both in pleasure and in pain. The dukkha is almost everywhere. Then, as I said, is samudaya is the cause of suffering. You have to find there is definitely a cause for the suffering. There cannot be no suffering, there can be no suffering without any cause. So there is a cause for this suffering, and suffering is due to the attachment. If I am attached to somebody, if something happens to that somebody, then I suffer. It is the desire to have and control things. If I desire for something, if I want this thing has to be mine, then if I don't get it, I suffer. So my desires controls my looking for something, or my desire controls my mind, my desires control my heart, so I get the suffering. If I don't get it, I suffer. It can take many forms. This desire takes many forms. It's a craving for sensual pleasures. I may wish to have some pleasure with some lady, some girl, or some person. The desire for getting famous, I want to be famous, so the desire is I will be one day very famous. Desire for fame, the desire to avoid unpleasant sensation. Sometimes I think that I must get everything, but it should not be any unpleasant things. And also the fear, anger and jealousy are the causes for dukkha. If I am scared, if I am angry with somebody, and if I am jealous to somebody, again I am going to suffer. Nirodho, as I said, there is an end to all the sufferings. You can bring an end, you can stop these sufferings. Attachment can be overcome. You can get away from any relationship. You don't have any attachment with anybody, and the suffering will be ceasing. There will be cessation of suffering with the final liberation of nirvana. You don't suffer anymore if you attain nirvana. If you attain nirvana, if you are going away from all the sufferings, that means there will be no suffering. The mind experiences complete freedom in nirvana. It gets liberation and non-attachment. You don't feel for anything. It lets go of any desire or any carving. If you are attaining the nirvana, you don't have any desire, you don't have any craving for becoming famous or becoming something bigger. So you don't have this kind of desire once you attain nirvana. Then magga. Magga is that in order to end the sufferings, whatever the sufferings I have, if I want to end it, we must follow the Eightfold Path. That is, I said you, the Arja Ashtanga Marga. There is a path for accomplishing all this. So how to go to the Eightfold Path? There is again a path to go there. Then what are the 5 precepts? Buddhists all over the world, they accept these 5 precepts. There are the rules to live by. These are the rules, but however, these are recommendations, not commandments. It is not like the 10 commandments written in the Bible, but it is the recommendation which are followed by every Buddhist. Do not kill. There is sometimes translated as not harming anybody, or you can absolve violence. You don't resort to violence. So first one is don't kill, don't steal. It's generally interpreted as including the avoidance of fraud and economic exploitations. Don't steal is not literally stealing anything from any shop. It can be implied, it can be interpreted that you have to avoid any fraudulent practices. You don't resort to any fraudulent practices, and you should not be subject to any economic exploitation, or you should not exploit somebody economically or financially. This all comes under your bracket. Do not steal. Do not lie. You should not tell lies. This is sometimes interpreted as including name calling or gossip. If you are calling names, or if you are saying something to your friends, if you are saying something bad at somebody's back, if you are gossiping, for that will sometimes mean something wrong for the person about which you are gossiping. It also comes under lie. So don't lie. Then don't misuse sex. Don't misuse it. For the monks and nuns, this means any departure from complete celibacy. They should be completely away from sexual pleasures. And for the laities, those for the lay followers, you can engage in sex, but adultery is forbidden. And along with any sexual harassment or exploitation, including within the marriage. Even within the marriage, the woman is sexually exploited. Even if he is married to somebody, but he is sexually exploited, that has to be stopped. Then accepting gold or silver. It is strictly told in Buddhism that do not accept any luxury from anybody, because that is contrary to Buddhist philosophy. You have to have something to eat for the day, but you need not to have something to save for the other day. So that is there in Buddhism. If you have any excess things, donate it. Give it to somebody who can live by that, but don't store it anyway. So these are the 5 precepts which are being followed by every lay followers of Buddhism, and this is the thing which is followed by the monks, the laities. So this comes to the end of our discussion today, and in subsequent lectures I will be telling you about the Buddhist values and the traits we'll be discussing in